Guys, welcome guys to my channel once again. My name is Ofosu Godwin, a marketing professional and a marketing trainer. In today's video, we're going to look at how to do sales follow-up or sales follow-up strategies that can let you close sale. You see, 80% of sales needs and requires not less than 5 follow-ups even after the first meeting or the first interaction with a prospect. Most salespeople just try for some few attempts and then they really just back up. In this video, I'm going to show you the strategies, but before we go on to the strategies, let's first of all understand the psychology that really goes with sales follow-up. You know, prospects usually experience prospect fatigue. Prospects get overwhelmed with a lot of constant sales, what I call sales noise. People become so salesy and push a lot of information and a lot of pitches across prospects, right? Now, let's look at the strategies here. The first thing we're going to talk about is to put up a multi-touch cadence. So a multi-touch follow-up cadence, which involves creating a map of multi-channel sequences that you can use to do the follow-up. So that means that you're not supposed to use just one source of follow-up or one particular platform for follow-up or one particular channel for follow-up. So you need to have a plan. So for example, it could be an email, a phone call, and a social interaction. Mix channels with some tact and some strategy. So for example, you can use phone calls to establish relationship and establish rapport, whilst you use social interactions to also get social. You can also use emails to send details as well. This is very important. So for example, when it comes to the socials, you can comment on their Facebook page or on their LinkedIn post, right? For example, you can set up a 7-point follow-up cadence. So, like I said, you can also leverage voicemail. Voicemail is also another important strategy, but don't aim for more than 30 seconds maximum. Say your name and then let them know that with reference to the previous conversation that you had, you are following up with a voicemail. Try to end with a call to action. It is important to do your timing properly. Look out for times that work for your voicemail. Even though there is no one size fits all time, do an A and B test to find out when it is appropriate for you to do the voice mails, right? So it could be morning, afternoon, or mid-morning. If you still don't get answer, try and give some number of days and send another voicemail that actually ejects value, right? Another thing we're going to talk about is timing of the cadence for the follow-up. We're talking about the sequence. The cadence is simply about the sequence of channels that you use. If it is a post-meeting follow-up, that is immediately after the meeting. Let's say 24 hours after the meeting. Just summarize whatever you discuss in the email with bullet points, something that is easily readable. So you list the issues that you talk about. For example, the value conversations that you have, right? Also ensure that you add any attachments that you said you send during the meeting. Just be mindful that you need to highlight benefits, right? So for example, our software cuts cost by 20%, as we talked about during our meeting. So this sort of like provide some kind of a reinforcement for the prospect. It is important to act immediately. It is important to act immediately if it is a post-meeting follow-up. So you need to act fast within a matter of hours, as delays can affect your follow-up. So post-meeting follow-ups are very important. Another issue we also need to look at is whether the follow-up is a cold lead or a warm lead, right? So cold leads would need a lot of nurturing, right? So it is important to space your follow-up. At least schedule about 30 days. So this could be soft, light email. So it is important to space your cold lead follow-up touches. If it is a warm lead, you can, as a matter of fact, target 2 weeks. So weekly emails, weekly calls. These prospects are closer than you think. So it is important to push value to be able to close these prospects. One thing you also need to understand is that for warm leads, when you're following up, try and personalize your content. That is tailor-made solutions to their pain point. But when it comes to the cold leads, it is more to do with educational content, right? So you build that interest. There's also the issue of the long-term re-engagement strategy. There are times some prospect will ghost you, right? So some prospect, almost about 60 days, that's about 2 months, they will not get back to you. They've ghosted you, but there's no need for you to ghost back at them. It is important to always set a reminder so that you can send updates. So for example, I found this interesting and decided to share with you our new product, our new office, or our new brand on the market. You can also send a report on their sector or about their sector. It is important to do this. It really works for some sales rep. So sometimes patience can be a virtue in long sales cycles. So you can also have annual check-ins. Apart from the quarterly check-ins, you can also have annual check-ins to check on prospect that has been silent and they have ghosted you for a while. The next thing we're going to talk about is to make use of technology or to harness technology in follow-up, and also as well as personalization in follow-up. So you can create a video message You see, emails with short video messages also do work. So you can design a 30-second clip or 30-second content to share a particular interesting tip that is really linked to their needs. So after typing your mail, right, after few tests, you can then also embed your video in the mail. So it could be, for example, a quick highlight on the challenges in industry ABC, or on your problems concerning time management, right? This particular strategy also works. Chances are the prospect might open the video to watch the video, right? So you can put a video or embed a video in the email. This type of strategy reduces the pressure of phone calls and long emails. Let this video flow naturally. This type of content or this type of strategy also build trust, right? Another issue here is that it is important to also, so the next one I'm going to talk about is objections and momentum. If price came up during your meeting, it is important to tackle these common objections in the follow-up content. It could be any of the mix. It could be the place, that is distribution, it could be price, it could be product specifications, etc. It could even be discounts, etc. So it is important to put up a breakdown of something valuable. So let them know how your service or your product can save them time and money. So in this case, you can use what we call customer testimonies to support these particular strategies. So you can share a guide, right? Also ensure that you include return on investment, as most executives are much concerned about ROI, return on investment, right? Another thing I want to talk about is that there are opportunities when it comes to ghosted leads. Re-engage prospects who have ghosted. You can send them a poll to find out. So for example, what is your major problem? What is your top, or what is your major problem this second quarter or this very year? This type of strategy uses a low pressure strategy. Same way, you can also share industry news. Maybe you just title it, I realize this might help. Don't go in pontificating and whinging or blaming about them ghosting you. Let it be about the fact that you only want to check on them. So re-engage ghosted leads by breaking the ice, sending quick polls, sending articles that are related to the industry, sending valuable information, right? Another thing we also need to talk about is knowing when to stop. So exiting the follow-up. Exiting the follow-up. You have sent lots of messages. You have make use of the multi-cadence channel strategy, email, phone call, voicemail, etc. And you have not been able to reach to any reply. It's time for you to pause. After 10 touches, after 11, after 12 touches, nothing has happened. or they just come out with one of the biggest phrases that salespeople don't want to listen to. No, the outright no. My brothers and sisters, this is not time for you to burn bridges because you can't sell a bridge at this time. Do what we call a graceful close. So you can send a message, for example, thank you very much. I think I would have to wait and stay back for a while for now. But this is my contact. In case the need arises, you can reach out to me. Stay positive. Stay positive and don't be aggressive. This is done to preserve future relationship. This is because, like I said in my previous video, we have a hard no, soft no, etc. Today, the prospect might say no. Tomorrow, the prospect might say yes. Thank you very much. We're going to meet again in the next presentation. Bye-bye.